September vorig jaar. Mario Draghi overhandigt zijn rapport over de Europese economie aan Europees Commissievoorzitter von der Leyen. Er wordt gelachen. Maar de boodschap van Draghi is niet om vrolijk van te worden.
My concern is that over time we will inexorably become less prosperous, less equal, less secure, and as a result less free to choose our destiny.
Een paar maanden eerder had de Franse president Macron nog straffere taal gesproken.
Nous devons être lucides sur le fait que notre Europe aujourd'hui est mortelle. Elle peut mourir.
Hoe komt een Spaanse professor in Zwitserland dan op het idee om een boek te maken met als titel Super Europa?
So it was this pessimism from within that triggered me to write this book of saying, you know, guys, this is not correct. The immediate trigger was an interview that I had in Estonia with one of the original investors in Skype, Sten Tankidi. And I asked him explicitly, are you optimistic about Europe? And he replied, I am super optimistic. And then I said, that's it. That's going to be my title, Super Europe.
Maar als Europa zo super is, waarom groeit de Amerikaanse economie dan sneller dan de Europese?
Hier zie je dat Europa in het gezegende jaar 2007 nog een grotere economie heeft dan de Verenigde Staten. En kijk eens naar vandaag. We lopen 50% achter.
It is very easy to explain why the GDP of the United States has grown faster than the GDP in Europe. In countries where you have strong public sectors, which is the case in Europe, by construction, GDP is smaller. In Europe, we have public transportation that accounts for some part of our GDP. In the US, there is not such a big public transportation sector. So how do they replace it? With private sector solutions, which are way more expensive. For every train that you have in France or in Belgium, you may need 10,000 cars in the United States. In GDP, this counts much higher in the US. This doesn't mean that they live better lives. It's just that they actually have created more expensive solutions for problems that we have solved in a much more efficient way.
Oké, maar hoe zit het dan met innovatie in Europa? Het zijn toch vooral Amerikaanse bedrijven die artificiële intelligentie ontwikkelen.
We focus too much on AI, but Europe leads in biotechnology, deep tech, cybersecurity, fintech, payments innovation, many other fields of innovation that we disregard very often. Our cities are the most livable of the world.
Europa staat voor grote uitdagingen, dat erkent ook Arturo Bris. Een van de grootste uitdagingen ervoor zorgen dat beloftevolle start-ups in Europa blijven en hier kunnen uitgroeien tot wereldspelers.
We have more capital than the United States or China. The problem is that our capital is invested in the US. Going back to the example of Skype. Skype was a massive innovation. What you see today that we currently use in Teams or in Zoom, or the technology that we are now using to communicate, was originated in Estonia and was ultimately bought by Microsoft. Unfortunately, Microsoft is also owned by lots of asset managers and European capital. So that's the problem that we need to resolve. We need to break this cycle of capital where our capital goes to the US and comes back to buy our innovation. If we break that cycle, then we will have, technology champions and we'll have more unicorns in Europe.
Het cliché America innovates, China duplicates, Europe regulates. Ja, daar zit wel iets in. Wat heeft Amerika, wat heeft China? Wij hebben zo de innovatie dat die top nu aan dat flesje vasthangt.
This is a mantra that, pisses me off so much. And I like our principles of regulation. When it comes to data or technology, China regulates for the sake of the party, the US regulates for the sake of Facebook and Amazon, Europe regulates for the sake of the citizen. And I like that. Okay? Companies will complain because, of course, if I have control about my data, companies will not take advantage of that. But honestly, I love that idea. If you ask today any young individual in the world, where would they prefer to live? A vast majority would tell you a European country. So I think that we are going to be, as I say in the book, the unexpected hero of the 21st century, because we're going to be the center of prosperity for the world.